Hi guys, welcome to my very first video on my YouTube channel. Today I will be walking you through the simple pen and wash painting of an urban English townhouse. All the items I've used in this video will also be listed in the description box below, so don't forget to check them out. For now, let's begin. I begin with a rough sketch to outline the peripherals of my drawing. This gives me an idea of proportions of window panes to doors, roof lengths to building heights. Once done, as you can see, I'm erasing this outline to a point where I can still see the guidelines for outlining them with my micro tip fine liner. I use the Sakura micron tips. I find them to give the best aesthetic value once they start drying up. In my opinion, they give more character to the drawing, more texture. Here I am testing the tips 03, 05 and 08 and found that 08 was my preferred choice. In the next few minutes, you will see me giving the drawing more shape and structure. While in nature there is beauty in imperfections and one can freehand most of the sketch, for urban sketches making a rough first draft of the buildings and leveraging on these proportions become all the more crucial. Pen and wash technique, as the name goes, is basically using ink to demarcate the boundaries of objects as opposed to the traditional watercolor type paintings where edges are indicated by change in tone. This makes pen and wash projects faster to complete than a normal watercolor one. Pen and wash is a great starting point for beginners trying their hand out in watercolors. Now you can see that I am giving the finer details to the windows. These details would have taken way more effort to achieve if done in pure watercolors, but don't worry, in my later videos I will be sharing tips and tricks to achieve this in watercolors as well. The idea behind this channel was to bring all the tips and tricks I have collected over the years of me doing sketches and paintings in various mediums. My goal is to get people more interested in art and to break the paintings down to smaller chunks so that it looks more easier to tackle. So please do make sure that you subscribe and turn on the notification button so that you are notified whenever I drop a new video. Once I've completed the outline, I'm now going to begin painting. As you can see, I begin wetting the area I want to color with a wet round brush, and I'm using a very diluted black to give the first coat of color. I kept the color palette very muted and minimal, restricting myself to a dark black, a burnt sienna brown, cadmium yellow, cobalt blue and crimson red. The watercolors I am using here are from the Pebeo Studio Aquarelle set, which in my opinion is an advanced level kit to have with a very good color payoff, but you can also make do with any watercolor kit of your choice. Now you see me making the shadows on the roof of the building. I positioned the sun on the upper right corner of my painting, so you can see all the shadows on the left and below the obstructions that are there on the roof and the ledges. Next, I start painting the bricks that are visible at the facade of the house. I am using different dilution levels of burnt sienna and the ivory black to give me an indication of the varying age of the bricks. This gives more character to the painting. Now start giving structure and color to the finer parts of the painting, the windows, doors and the bay window to the right of the main door. I loaded up my brush with crimson red for the window panes as they would be the focus of the painting once completed. I'm now adding shadows to my windows, and I'm also taking this opportunity to go back to the roof of the building and darken the shadows and give more depth to the colors. Playing with lights and shadows become pertinent when trying to give a 3D effect to a 2D drawing. Make sure you fix the lighting source so that the shadows are on the similar side, else it becomes a confusing 2D painting. As you can see, I am putting the second coat of painting once the first layer dries down. This is because you want the base layer to still peek through the second coat of painting, or else it would be just a mishmash of colors. Once the previous layer dries down, make sure to go back and darken your shadows, because with watercolors what happens is once the previous layer dries down, it tends to fade a little bit. Now I am painting some greens to add some life back into the painting. I used combinations of cadmium yellow, lemon yellow and cobalt blue for the various hues of greens here. I am giving the greens barely any details as the passerby looking at the house is at quite some distance. Naturally, the details blur out as we go further. Now you see me tapping the brush for some stray droplets of paint. This was just something I wanted to add to give a hint that this painting is a rough sketch and was painted in a hurry. Time for the last coat and shadows. I went back to my micro tips to add the last details on top of the watercolors, like defining the bricks, the creeping bushes, the fence, basically to tie the whole painting together. Here's how the painting turned out. Thank you for watching and see you again in the next video. Bye!